We want to look at how can we mathematically find the size of a horizontal shift bias curve. So we'll use the equation of the IS curve to find the size of horizontal shift of IS curve for any given value of R. So this is our IS equation. When we're looking at the size of horizontal shift of IS curve, it's easier to have the IS curve written as y as a function of R like here. This IS equation is derived under some behavioral assumptions, which are C is a linear function of disposable income, I is equal to I naught minus P1R, and G and T are exogenously given, and it's a closed economy. So under these behavioral assumptions, we have this IS equation written as y is a function of R, and from here now, we can find the size of horizontal shift of IS curve for any given value of R. We can now examine from the IS equation that we have how y changes as one of the right-hand side variable changes, holding constant the interest rate, another right-hand side variable. So from this equation, we can see how would y change if any one of these right-hand side variables change, holding the interest rate R constant and the other right-hand side variables. Right, so here we can see, okay, how much would y change if C naught changes for a given value of R. We can see how much would y change if I naught changes for a given value of R. How much does y change if G bar changes for a given value of R. And from the equation of the IS curve, we can see that change in y due to change in C naught holding constant and trust in other right-hand side variables is 1 by 1 minus C1. And this is also true for change in y due to change in I naught or due to change in G bar. Right? So if I change y, the change in y due to change in I naught, holding the trust in other right-hand side variables constant is also 1 by 1 minus C1, and similar is true for change in G bar. If I want to find change in y due to change in T bar, holding constant the interest rate R and other right-hand side variables, then that is minus C1 by 1 minus C1, right? So here the subscript R on the delta y term indicates that we're looking at the change in the value y that will be required to maintain equilibrium in the goods market for any given value of R. Because when we're looking at the size of horizontal shift of the IS curve, we're trying to see how much does output change for any given value of R to maintain goods market equilibrium. For example, it tells us that the 1 unit increase in government spending will increase output by 1 by 1 minus C1 units for any given value of R, because delta Y by delta G bar is 1 by 1 minus C1. So G increases by delta G. IS curve will shift towards the right by delta G times 1 by 1 minus C1, and it's towards the right because delta Y by delta G bar, which is 1 by 1 minus C1, is greater than 0. So if G increases by delta G, so IS curve will shift towards the right by delta G times 1 by 1 minus C1, because this is how much output would increase for any given value of R, right? So when you're looking at the horizontal shift in the IS curve, the goal is that from the equation of the IS curve, we just need to see how much would Y change for any given value of R, right? So that's the whole goal to see over here.